Sky, welcome everyone. Welcome to Sky's Travel. And Sky's over there. Sky, you are over there at this point. Hello, Brad. Okay. Hello, baby. Hi. So we're making a segment for you, and it's called Tips for Life. And in the event that anything ever prematurely happens to mommy and daddy, we want to make sure that we actually have
videos for Sky to help her succeed in life. That is our goal.
And these are the things that we wish. Hi, Sky. These are the things that we wish we knew earlier in life, and that we pretty much aim towards. So this will help us for sure, or help Sky for sure. Help you for sure, Sky, generate some all.
And then and also we want to help other people too. If you want to learn from it the same way that we are helping to teach Sky, that would be
better
great
for
as well.
us.
Yeah.
Right, because a lot of people are under the impression that we're probably like rich.
And we're not.
It's just all about our life, our decisions that we make.
And we just want people to learn from what we learned, really, in our experiences.
What we found success in.
Yeah.
Right? So today's episode we're talking about
Buying a house. So about buying a home.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we think buying a home is important?
Well, for one, I'd rather pay a mortgage than pay rent, because when you buy a house, you're actually getting that money back over time, and the house is a form of an investment.
Yeah. So even though when you're renting, it's usually a little bit lower than buying a house, like a mortgage payment.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, all the money that you are putting towards that house in the mortgage, it does come back to you at the end. So it's an investment. Unlike a rental property where you're renting, money just goes out to whoever owns the property, and you won't be getting any of that money back.
Buying a house is actually one of my favorite topics, because we actually bought our first house in 2008 when we were both 24 years old.
That's right.
And we were very excited. We think it was one of the best investment we've ever made.
And that's why buying a home is important, because it is an investment. And that's why we think it was a great choice that what we did in 2008. Now, when you're paying rent, what you're doing is actually giving money to somebody else. But when you're paying a mortgage for your own home, you're putting that money towards money that you will eventually get in the future, as well as you're building equity on the home, meaning the value of the house will keep going up, and therefore you are investing, building your wealth.
Building your wealth. So, and as you know, every secret to a billionaire or a millionaire person is called investment. They all invest in multiple things, and properties or real estate is one of the biggest investments for rich people. So again, a lot of things we'll discuss in this is what we've experienced, but we'll also give examples of the actual a real life scenario of what you would expect to pay, stuff like that. And we'll also, on our next episode, we'll talk about how to get out of debt, in case most of you came out of school in debt and it's hard to get out of it. We actually have experience with that. I had school loans and stuff like that when I just came out of school. So I can share how I got out of debt with the help of budgeting, which are all future topics that we're going to be discussing.
Yeah. So when is the best time to buy a house? Belton?
Right now, if you haven't bought it yet.
Yes, if you can buy it, now is the best time, because the value of the house just keeps going up. So, I mean, it could be worth $300,000 today, and next year it's $320,000. So, it's really the best time is now, okay? So what do we need to buy a house besides a job so that you can pay the mortgage?
I know.
What is that?
You need a down payment.
That's right. So a down payment. So here in Ontario, you need 5% down payment for a house valued at $500,000. So if you're buying a house, $500,000, down payment of 5% is
$25,000?
That's right.
Yeah.
And then anything above the $500,000 mark is 10% of that amount. So for example, it's $600,000 house. You pay the 5% on the $500,000 plus 10% on the next $100,000 equals $35,000 down payment. So that's for a $600,000 house.
In addition to your down payment, you also need to consider having closing cost,
Yes.
land transfer,
tax, lawyer fees, all that stuff.
Okay.
That's approximately, give or take, around $8,000 or so.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the catch: if you're a first-time home buyer, you will get some incentives programs that will help you. So the one thing is that there is the first-time homebuyer land transfer tax refund. So with that, you can get up to $4,000 in refund back for that. So I knew somebody who just bought a house for $419,000. He was a new home buyer, first time. So with all the closing costs, he only ended up paying about $1,000. So I mean, that's a lot reduced because of the first-time home buyer's rebate. Okay. Now, besides the down payment, what you also need to get is a mortgage, because you need to get a loan for the house. Most people don't have $500,000, $600,000 to buy a house, so you will get a loan for it. There are different mortgage companies. That's right, Sky. There is many different mortgage companies, lenders. So, do your research, talk to mortgage brokers, talk to the bank, find out what rate, what type of mortgage is best for you, and always look into the fine print. But do your research on that.
I prefer mortgage brokers over banks, and that doesn't necessarily mean it is the best option for people. It's just that for me, I like to see a variety of offers that a mortgage broker can get, versus if I go to my personal bank, then I only get one offer. So they could say, well, I want to give you an interest rate of 3.5. And I'm like, okay, I'll just take it because that's what they offer. But I can go to a mortgage broker, and then they can go to they can go to a bunch of institution, and then you get 7 different offers. Okay, one person said we'll give you 3.5, another person said we'll give you 3.3, another person says that we'll give you a 3.2. And then what would I do based on the fine print? I'd more likely choose a 3.2 because it means I'm paying less interest over the amortization period of the house, right?
Yes. Now, some people are going to say, well, it's getting the down payment, that's a lot of money, or paying the mortgage, that's a lot of money. Like, I can't afford that. But that comes down to sacrifice, right? You have to really put in perspective what is important for you and what your long-term goal is. Now, some things we've had to do is sacrifice as well. And so we're going to talk more about that with budgeting and credits and all that stuff. But, it's really important to make those sacrifices in order to reach your long-term goal.
Yes. Sacrifice is actually one of my favorite words because I sacrifice sleep. So normally lots of sleep. So, but I feel like I'm in a position in life where I'm actually quite content with the fact that I gave up sleep to sort of inherit my lifestyle, right?
Yes, but you don't always have to give up sleep. So the other things that you can also do
neighborhood clothes.
Yeah. Reduction of buying as much clothes, buying things that you don't need but want, going out partying all the time and drinking when you don't need to, or there's a lot of different ways to save money, and you just really have to put into perspective, do I really need that Starbucks every day or that Tim Hortons every day?
What about somebody that goes and get their nails done every week?
Those are other things.
So sacrifice something that's of comfort and value to you for something that could be in return more of a value to you, right? And get in the house and sort of start to generate your wealth for you and your kids or your future grandkids. It's just a better platform to be laid out for somebody.
Nice. So other incentives is that in different cities, you can also get different incentives from the city or region. So if you are eligible for the program, look into your region. If you're eligible for the program, then there might be a percentage that they help put into like a down payment or anything like that, or into the mortgage of the house, so you pay less mortgage. So, City of Kitchener, Region of Waterloo area has some, Brantford has it, Toronto has it. Mind you have to be eligible for it because you have to make a certain amount of income. If you're over that income, you're not eligible, but look into it because you may qualify for it. Also, the Trudeau government is actually looking into another type of incentive program. It's called the CMHC. It's called the CMHC First Time Homebuyer Incentive. Now, it's still in the works, possibly going to be done by September. So what it is that you still need your down payment, but depending on the value of your home and that, they can give you up to 10% towards your mortgage. So that's money that they're giving you so that it will lower your mortgage amount. Other thing too is once you buy your home, at the end of that year, when you claim income tax, what you can do is now you can claim first-time home buyer tax, and then up to $5,000. So if there's two of you buying the house like a partner, then you each can claim $2,500 each, or one person can claim the whole $5,000. With that amount, you will get a tax rebate of up to $750. So there's incentives programs for first-time home buyers. Look into it yourself. There might be other ones that we don't know about, but you know it's good because it'll help you to afford your first home. So what do you need to buy a house besides the down payment? You need to get a mortgage, so a loan. Most people do not have the full amount of money, like $500,000 to buy a house. So you always have to get a mortgage or loan. Now, there are a lot of different lenders, brokers, so you can either go to the bank or you can go to a mortgage broker and look at different lenders with different rates. Look at the fine print, determine which one works for you, and go from there. Everybody's different, everybody's situation is different, but what we're saying is that buying a home is a great investment, and you know, look into your overall situation and determine what you can do to achieve something that for the long term is better for you.
I mean, generating wealth is always a great thing, and I mean, all rich people invest in real estate, so why shouldn't we? That's the question. Why should not we invest in real estate? So that's what you have for buying a house. It's a good investment, and I mean, a lot of other people might tell you that it's not what we think it is. A great investment, and we'd like for you, Sky, to actually look about investing in a home in the event that you don't have money yet.
Okay, and guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for
watching,
and please like,
subscribe, and share to your friends that it might add some value to their life. And please stay tuned because we have lots more tips that we've experienced in our lifetime. For example, the next one we'll talk about maybe how to get out of debt. We'll talk about how to build your credit a lot quicker, and stuff like budgeting. We have a lot more interesting topics to share with Sky that we can also share with everybody else.
So if you have any comments that you want to create a dialogue about, please comment below.
Alrighty, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Sky, wanna come say bye? You wanna say bye to Sky?
Bye.
Okay, bye, Sky.
Come say bye. Okay, that's it.
Let's kind of.
That's it.
You can say
Come
bye?
say bye.
Bye, Sky.
Just woke up, didn't you?
Mm.
Bye.
I know, messy hair don't care.